So back in May this year, I switched from a Kemper over to a Quad Cortex. I made a whole video talking about why I switched, and now I want to come back 4 months later, talk about some things I've learned along the way and some tips and tricks that I think might help you out if you have a couple of similar frustrations to what I have. So first off, overall, I'm really happy with my purchase. I really like the unit. I've been using it a ton since I bought it, almost every day, for various different gigs and shows and, a couple fly dates and stuff like that, and it's been great. And I want to say these issues, like if I'm on a tour, like if you're a touring musician and stuff and you're just MIDI programming everything, which I've talked about that as well, you really aren't going to have the issues that I'm talking about. This is for me personally when I'm playing around town or like doing a church gig or whatever else, where I need a little bit more functionality out of the unit in its base form, right? So the main thing that I felt frustrated with when I first, after having the unit for a little bit, is the fact that you can't switch in and out of gig view outside of swiping up on the unit. So if you don't know, like basically when you're in main view, you swipe up and that's how you get to gig view. And I just got it first try there, which is great. You don't always get it first try. Sometimes I'm sitting there swiping, and there's also not an option to switch to gig view, like to make gig view your default view. So that way, whenever you load up a preset or a patch, gig view is just automatically there. Because for me personally, I never use the normal screen. I'm always on gig view. Because if I'm at home, it's plugged into my computer. I'm using the editor to make sounds and build patches. When I'm out playing live, I'm on hybrid mode, gig view 9 out of 10 times. No, not even 10 out of 10. I'm always on gig view. I don't ever use it. You might be typing in the comment right now, David, just get the MC8 Pro MIDI controller. It's awesome. It does everything you could need. I would love to. It's a lot of money. And I want to figure out ways to make this stuff work and make it happen without having to spend all that money. So until I finally cave and get that pedal, I'm going to share my tips and tricks and what I've discovered along the way with you guys, because maybe you're in the same boat. You don't want to have to spend all that money on a MIDI pedal, despite how amazing it looks, and to have many friends have told you to just get that. All right, let's get into it. Okay, so basically I'm going to show you what I'm talking about here. So what we're going to be talking about today is this thing. It's called the Midi Loopback Jumper Hack, for lack of a better term. I don't know. It's kind of a convoluted title, but it allows you to do things like this. So I'm in my regular view now. If I switch off this preset, and then I'll do another one that has it enabled, it automatically switches into gig view for me. So how you do this is you're just going to take any regular 5-pin MIDI cable. You're going to plug it to both the in and the out of your Quad Cortex. What that's going to allow you to do is effectively MIDI can allow the Quad Cortex to send MIDI messages to itself to do certain things that you aren't able to do otherwise. The reason this is also a little bit frustrating is it doesn't make sense why you wouldn't be able to do this internally. Again, I'm not a software engineer. I don't know how this stuff works. I'm just a guitar player. Kind of seems like it has the capacity to do it. It would be nice to be able to have that internal MIDI capability, so that way you don't have to take up your MIDI ports. But if you're not using your MIDI ports for anything, like if you're just gigging around town, you can throw these in there and it allows you to do a couple other things. So let me show you how to do that really quick. So we're in Cortex Control here, and I'm just going to switch over to a patch that I know doesn't have it. We'll go to one of my songs from this other gig I did. So this I know doesn't have this option. So turn that off. And basically what you're going to do is you're going to click these 3 bars on your actual preset. You're going to go to preset MIDI out. You're going to click on the screen. It's all the same on the actual unit, by the way, too. The process is pretty much the exact same. You're going to go CC. You're going to go whatever your channel is. I'm set to channel 1. The CC is CC 46, and you're going to go value 127. And then we're going to click done and save. And then when I go back to this preset, it is now switched over into gig view like that. So super simple, super easy. Now we're going to go back and do it again, but this time we're going to set up our expression pedal. So we're going to go preset MIDI out. This will work with any expression pedal, by the way, like any volume expression, or not volume, but expression pedal that you have. I'm going to show you another thing that I'm doing later with this specific type of expression pedal, but I'll get into that later. So we're going to go same thing. We're going to click on expression 1 or whatever expression you have your input into. You can set it to either or. We're going to go same thing, CC. We're going to go CC number 45. Minimum value 64. Maximum value 0. And then we're just going to hit done. And once again, we're going to hit save. And then there you go. I don't know how well you can see that, but I'll put another recording on the screen as well of it doing it. But that's how you set that up. Super easy. Like, and definitely, in my opinion, a game changer. There's a couple other things you can do. I'll throw the link to the wiki how down below, which kind of has a list of a couple other things. But you can basically set it up to send a bunch of different types of MIDI commands. That's how I'm setting up. That feels the most functional to me. And so now what we're going to set up, so this requires a volume or expression pedal, that has a toe switch built into it. So how I wanted to set up, because I wanted to kind of set up the most versatile patch I could, is have this be able to flick on a wah effect and do volume at the same time. So that involves you using both outs of here. So you have your foot switch out and your expression out going into here. And then it's just a little bit weird and confusing. So I figured I would just show you. So first off, we're going to get rid of our fuzz here. We're going to just replace that with a wah. You can obviously use whatever wah you would like. And then over here, we're going to put in our volume. I like to put mine between my dry and wet effects. Yes, you can make the argument that chorus would be a wet effect, but I don't care that much at the moment for this one patch. But feel free to debate in the comments down below. So we have those two set in there, right? And then to set them up with expression, you're just going to right click, assign expression pedal. We're going to go for volume. Key is going to be expression 1, and we're just going to have this control the level. And then that now shows, you can see on screen, this is controlling our overall volume, right? And then what we're going to do is we're going to go expression pedal 2. So you're going to click this, you're going to click on bypass, and you're going to do X2. And you're going to change this to switch. And you're going to go latch emulation. That tells the quad cortex that this isn't a actual like expression knob or a wheel, a potentiometer. It's a switch. So we'll just hit save for now. And if you look, it's currently off on the screen. And when I press this, it turns it on. So what we're going to do is we're going to do the exact same thing for the wah. So we're going to go right click, assign expression pedal, same thing. Click here for expression pedal 1, which is our potentiometer. And then click here, switch to X2, switch, latch emulation, and then we want it to be the opposite. So you're going to hit this little button here, and that switches it. So if you look on the screen, this one is now lit up, and then this one is not. So let me save this. I'm going to grab my guitar really quick, and I'll give you just a quick sound example to show you what I'm talking about. Okay, so I've got my guitar, and this is just with this being volume now. And then when I press it down, we now have a wah pedal. So super useful. I know a lot of people just use their expression for volume. So if you happen to get one, and this one, I believe it's only $89. It's a really solid expression pedal. I'm not affiliated with them or anything by any means, but really, really great option. And you could use that toe switch for other things too. You could have a controller block on your, it doesn't need to be just wah. There's a lot of other ways you can implement it and stuff like that. But this to me felt like the most kind of effective and usable way to go about it, especially paired with this MIDI capability to be able to have the MIDI, the quad cortex MIDI control itself. Hopefully we'll get some updates in the future where the quad cortex can just like load up. You can either, maybe hold down these two switches, like, because these are your mode switches. Maybe you can hold those down for a couple seconds or something and go into gig view, or you could set it to where presets can go into gig view by default, but it's not set up like that currently. So this was just something that I found. I haven't seen a lot of people talking about it online. It was just kind of something I came across on a forum. So I wanted to make a video about it and share it with you guys, because for me, it opened up a lot of different opportunities and kind of fixed a couple of the frustrations I had with the quad cortex. So yeah, let me know if you guys like this type of content. Let me know if you like this video. Please like the video and subscribe. We're almost at our goal for 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year, which would be awesome to hit. So let me know what you think. If you guys have any questions for me or anything else like that, let me know, and I will happily answer them to the best of my ability. So have a great rest of your day, guys. I'll see you guys in the next one.